But I'm sure the radios are giving you the extra help there.
Well, yeah, we're running a ICOM 7300, of course, but I like to make sure that the antenna is doing most of the work. We've been really fortunate with it. Again, if you're interested in looking it up, it's a great antenna. I think personally, it's an MP1 by Super Antenna, and they've got different packages and so forth. I actually bought this as a used kit off of eBay. But otherwise, it came with all the equipment. It even comes with a C-clamp. You could clamp it to a picnic table, to a barbecue grill. I started off with a music stand from you get out of high school, and used the C-clamp, and I clamped my antenna onto that in the beginning, and that's what we used. And gosh, it's really crazy. We wanted something that, as we go out west, that's really nondescript, doesn't get in the way. We plan on being up at Custer State Park, outside of Rapid City, through Rushmore and out in the Badlands, and we don't want to put a whole bunch of stuff in the air. We want to be able to set up in a few minutes, get on the air for a half hour or so, make a few contacts, break it down, and move on. So this is going to work out well for us, sir, Roger.
Well, very good. Well, I'm sold. You call it an AV1 super antenna, is that right?
No, it's Mike Papa -1, Mike Papa MP1, Mike Papa -1 by Super Antenna. You could probably Google MP1 Super Antenna, and it'd probably take you right to their site. Again, I've been very happy with it. It's not a terribly expensive antenna out of the box, I don't think. It was a little bit less for me on eBay because it doesn't have mine did not have the guide. There's a guide that you can go for, here's what 17 at, here's where 10 is, by sliding the coil up and down. I didn't have that, so I just have an antennalyzer that does it for me really quick. And for instance, here on 40 meters, I dialed it, I've got it matched down to 1.2 SWR, so it'll dial itself in pretty good. And you can buy the extra loaded coil, and you can actually work 80 meters with this thing as well, Roger.
Wow, well, I'm impressed. I'm going to check it out. I appreciate the tips on that, and I'm always looking for something portable and something you can put in your hip pocket, and it sounds great. Well, good. I'm on a long wire right now. I've got this ST891 running into a long wire using my chain link fence as the counterpoint, and I'm running about 33-foot, 45-degree angle into a tree. Over.
Oh, that's great. Well, you know what? Again, what a great thing about 40 meters. It doesn't take a whole lot to get on the air and be successful. 40 meters, 100 watts in a wire goes a long ways, no doubt. And yeah, it sounds really good in my receive. You're a good solid 5 and 9. And here's a little cherry on the top for you. We're actually live streaming right now on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, and we're actually live on YouTube. So our QSO's live. It's also being recorded as well. So if you're interested in listening to our QSO to actually hear how you sound on the air, you can go to the channel and listen to it. Like I said, we're live currently right now. We've been out here for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. You can type in my call under the search bar in YouTube, K0RWB, or I've got a link on my QRZ page, and you're kind of the first contact since we went live. Again, I think it's a cool deal because we don't get to hear ourselves on the air very often. You'd be really surprised how you sound there, Roger.
Wow, Randy, you're amazing. So awesome. I don't think I've ever been on YouTube for anything, so this is cool. Well, hey, I'm going to let you go and make other contacts, and hey, I appreciate the work today and letting me know about your super antenna. So, hey, you take care. Great sounding from Indianapolis. K0RWBWB9CHR. And God bless. Good luck.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. I appreciate you coming back to the CQ, the QRZ. I'm not sure where I was at the time, but appreciate it very much. I'm having a ball with it. I think other people are as well. Making contact's the name of the game, and the conditions got to be in our favor. None of this works, so I'm not going to take all the credit. I think the band is open, but hey, thanks again. I do appreciate you taking the time. I'm glad we had a short QSO. I don't see a contact in the log. Thank you very much for the first one. Like I said, if you're interested, give a look and a listen there on the channel. It's a hoot. It's a lot of fun. The only downside is a webcam pointed right at me, so you get to see my smiley face. Other than that, it's kind of a cool deal. You and yours be safe, be well, Art. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Friday evening and a great weekend coming up. And if you happen to hear us out there in the western states while we're running portable, give us a holler. You might be the only contact I have. You never can tell. Hey, take care, my friend. I did appreciate it very much. Whiskey Bravo 9, Charlie Hotel Romeo, a Kilowatt Zero radio, Whiskey Bravo / portable. We'll say 7-3s.
7-3s, Randy. WD9CHR clear and good luck.
All right, take care. This is Kilowatt Zero radio, Whiskey Bravo, QRZ. Any other stations? Come now with your call.
Kilo Yankee 4, Tango Golf.
Oh gosh, not again. 3 nights in a row. What are you doing over there? Don't you have anything else better to do?
Well, I've been doing it. I run the special event for a while, and then I had a bunch of cool DX for the last hour. The bands have been awfully noisy, but there was a lot of DX coming in from Europe. I don't know if you noticed that or not on 20 meters.
Well, you know, I haven't. I've been on this one, and I'd have to go back out and readjust the coil, change the ground wires, and so forth for 20 meters. So I'll just have to take your word for it. Like I said, this is kind of the last night we're going to be running the portable equipment, and I thought, well, we got a little bit of time. Let's give it a half-hour time frame, see who's out there, and see if it sounds any better tonight. I did listen to last night's playback, and I sounded absolutely terrible. It was really clipping too hard. I think maybe the mic gain was too high. It didn't really sound good. Maybe it was sounding better on your end. I'm not sure which, but when I listened to it, it did not sound good at all. So we backed the mic gain down just about 20%, and only running on 2 in compression, and we actually dialed it down a little bit on the OBS live stream as well. So hopefully it won't clip quite as bad tonight. There, go ahead.
No, you sound 100 times better than last night. I didn't notice you clipping at all. Not at all. After you mentioned it being muffled, then, you know, I'm like, yeah, it is. Now, my ears are not the best one to be giving you that advice. I've had tons of issues with my ears, and they're not the greatest for sure, but you do sound a lot better tonight. You sound really good, brother.
Well, we're getting there. Hey, I think you told me before, I forgot, but tell me again, are you running the stock mic, or did you get a different mic for that yet?
No, it's a stock mic. Everything's just like it came to me, over.
Wow. And the reason I ask that is it's got a really piercing sound, which makes me made me feel like maybe it was an ICM by Heil or HM12 or something. Just curious. So, you know, I've talked to a couple other stations in the last several months that were running the stock mic and sounded phenomenal, and that's what I'm saying about yours as well. So I was kind of like, ooh, what was that again? But yeah, I appreciate the feedback, Todd. Like I said, I think last night I had the compression up to 3, and I think mic gain was around 30, so we backed it down to 20 and 2, and then we also moved the mic element just a little bit farther away, and we're trying not to shout, so maybe that'll help us as well.
Yeah, it's amazing. Give me an honest opinion on my audio. Do you think I need to tweak anything? Let me know.
Well, I like it. It's really piercing. If I was going to do anything and I was having a rag chew, I'd add a little more bass to it. But otherwise, it is crystal clear. Well, you've heard it on. I'm certain you've heard it on the playbacks. Again, you know, I've heard your voice several times. You know, since you've gotten the radio, what have you. I'm not discounting it whatsoever. If we were in a rag chew day in and day out, you know, in the evenings, kind of like we are right now, 3rd night in a row, I'd say, hey, put a little more bass to it. But otherwise, I'd leave it alone.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I turned the bass down trying to bust through a pile-up, and I forgot to turn it back up. You can let me know if it's any better, but I usually keep the bass up on 5, and I just was having a hard time busting through a pile-up, so I turned it down some, and it helped me get through there, over.
It probably did. Oh, I like that a whole lot better. Wow, that's really nice. And you just hit 10 over that last time around as well. So, hey, we're both on the right track. Oh, yeah, that sounded real good there, Todd.
Well, I appreciate that. This is where I normally run it, after tweaking it, like you said, listening to it and then tweaking it a little here and there. But I do like the stock mic. I guess if I was going to have to be hands-free, I'd go for a Heil or something after listening to a bunch of them. But if I'm not mistaken, I think this stock mic has Heil has something in it, right? And I think that's right.
Yeah, actually, Bob was one of the prime contributors to the audio for the radio and the microphone. I think that's one of his elements, or he had a big hand in designing of the element. Again, like I said, it's really not hard to dial it in. The radio is so simple for transmit audio. It's just mind-boggling. I mean, you can do it in about 2 easy steps, and you can dial it in within 15 or 20 seconds. I cannot do that on the Yaesu. But yeah, this is really simple, and yeah, it sounds really good in my receive. So, hey, that's a good thing. I do think maybe that the band is a little bit better than it was last night. It was really crowded on my side and a lot of noise. I had a lot of stations that kept moving in, and I tried to move around them a little bit, but so far it hasn't happened. And you know, it's amazing. The package is working really well tonight as well. The first contact I had was Orlando, which was really good. You know, this little antenna. So I'm really encouraged about what will happen. You know, a week from now, I hope to hear me on the air Friday evening. A week from now should be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And I was trying to look. I was earlier on 40 meters. I couldn't get any states around me. I got just in a row. I got New Hampshire, New Mexico, and then the Bahamas. So I was having trouble on 40 meters where I normally am getting several states on 40 meters around me. I just couldn't. But otherwise, the band on 40 was horrible an hour or two ago, and it seems so much better now. Over.
Yeah, I think you're right. Matter of fact, Brad, Whiskey 3 Bravo Alpha Sierra just hit me on the chat, and he said I was gaining. I guess it's getting better in Central PA. He said I was 5.5 to 5.6. So we'll see. We'll see if Brad is out there in a few minutes. I don't think I've talked to him for a while, but encouraging to see that the band is open, and it's relatively early if you think about it. I mean, I didn't get started till about this time last night, and it did get better. About 8:30 Central, we were starting to get you know, signals were coming up quite a bit. And you know, we're still getting the Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio stations. We did have Colorado Springs, and we had my friend Bob, who's just north of there in Fort Collins, in the little town of Severance. So we had it was a light copy, but it worked. So maybe it'll be a little better tonight. I don't think we'll be able to be out here quite as long as we were last night, but you never can tell. If things will continue like they are, who knows? We just may do that, but. I just had a feeling when I heard that Tango Golf. I said, oh, gosh, 3 nights in a row. It's pretty cool.
Well, thanks for picking me up. I appreciate it. I saw you were on, and I wanted to get in there and holler at you real quick before you got too busy and got such a pileup I couldn't bust through it. I'm going to let you go so you can get to everybody else. Great talking to you, brother. Looking forward to your trip and see how that goes for you. But you take care of yourself and have fun. And I'm going to bow out of here, say 73. This is Kilo Yankee 4, Tango Golf. Be clear on your final, brother.
Always a pleasure. Yeah, great. Hey, thanks for turning the bass back up. Now you sound like you. I mean, I know why you didn't, and I've done the same thing, and it does work. You're definitely right on target. And I've had the same issues. I forget to turn it back on. Again, the treble didn't change any. It was really piercing. You just didn't have the low end like you usually do. But that didn't take long to fix that, so that's pretty cool. Hey, man, awesome. Friday evening, this is pretty cool, man. I appreciate the time, no doubt. And we're going to do it again that next week. I think we'll be on the air Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, we're going to be, you know, doing packing and so forth, and Thursday we're on the road. So I know at least for Friday we'll probably be out there. Todd, thanks again, man. Talk with you later. We'll say 7-3. Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo, clear with Todd. See if Brad's out there. Whiskey 3 Bravo Alpha Sierra. See if Brad can copy me out there in Central PA. Brad, are you there? Go ahead. I'll try it one more time. Whiskey 3 Bravo Alpha Sierra. And see if Brad's out there in Central PA. K0RWB. Go ahead. Well, I hope the band didn't drop that much, because if I'm a 5 and 5, 5 and 6, Brad, if that was you, I heard something. You got to be stronger than that. Turn the volume up. We'll try it one more time. If not, we'll give it a few minutes. Whiskey 3, Bravo Alpha Sierra, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. Oh man, it's on my end. You know, I've got this portable equipment right now, Brad, so I don't have probably the best transmitter or the best receive, but that's what we're going to have on the Western State Tour next week, so I got to get used to it. Let's put it this way, Brad. You sound better in the live chat there. Hi. Hey, yeah, no problem. Apologize for that, but I guess that's the way the band is. If you're out and about yet for a little bit, either hang out or come back in again. I'd like to get a chance to at least have a quick cue, so hopefully the band will get a little better. I mean, we haven't spoken since I think about the middle of May, so and it's mostly been on my part with all the stuff going on. But anyway, we'll try it again. If you're out there, we'll see what happens there in a little bit. Hopefully, it might get a little better, but. It was worth a shot anyway. We'll see what happens later. So I won't call it a contact just yet, Brad, but I know we'll get another one. So, hey, we'll say 7-3s. We'll try it again a little later if you're around. That's K0RWB, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo. I slink / portable, QRZ. Any other stations? Come with the call, please.
Kilo Alpha 9, Victor Tango Lima.
Oh, great signal. Nice signal. Kilo Alpha 9, Victor Tango Lima. Well, it sounds really good, Dennis. How are you tonight?
Doing good. And how are you doing out there? It sounds like, listening here a little bit, you're working on your portable antenna there. And not doing bad. S7 to S9, and your band's got a little slow fade to it, but any port in a storm, right? Sounds like you're getting ready to go for a long-distance portable run.
Yeah, we sure are. And by the way, real quick, I'll get the signal report in there. Good solid 5.9, bumped over in the red there just for a little bit. So, gosh, I don't know. Maybe I've got better ears than I thought. Not sure. Yeah, we're doing a Western Swing. We're leaving next Thursday. We'll be out in Colorado, Wyoming, and South Dakota. And we're going to be doing some portable operations out there with this setup, the antenna, radio, whole 9 yards. We're not out in the yard, so to speak. We're at the alternate location downstairs, but we're using the equipment that we'll use out there portable. So we're kind of getting used to what we can hear and what we can't hear. And, it seems to be working pretty well. So, yeah, this little MP1 antenna is doing a great job for us there. Go ahead.
That's great. Doing good. It's really surprising. I'm going to start putting together a portable throw-together antenna. Sounds like this October I'm going to spend a couple of weeks out with the kids up in Montana. And so, might be only running 100 watts, but oh well. Might build up another one of these center-fed Zeps. And got to be some tall pine trees out there somewhere. Of course, I'll be in a residential kind of area there in Billings. Might just end up being a mobile antenna on top of the vehicle. I don't know. But we'll wait and see. Still, one thing about wire antennas, you can always coil them up. And in worst case scenario, you can always take a portable, a vertical, and a lot of these mobiles, like the Hustler, I found if you take two masts, thread them together, shorten the stinger on your load coil, and they work out really good. You just can't drive down the road with them that way. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's about right. I was just going to say, what you described is really not too far off of what this antenna is. It's a sliding coil, so it'll work 6 through 40. And they do come with a little cheat chart or something you put up next to the coil, and you slide it up and down to this is where 17 is, and here's 20, and so forth. Mine didn't come that way. Mine was a used one. So I've got an antenna analyzer. So I've kind of marked this is where 40 should be, here's where 20 should be with a Sharpie, and then I just hook on the analyzer real quick, boom, boom, and get it dialed in. Right now, where we're sitting here, we're 1.2 SWR. You're going to get much better than that, so it's fairly resonant. And I do like the idea that it breaks down to about 12 inches, throw it in the bag that it comes with, put it in your backpack, and off you go. We wanted something kind of nondescript that we could set up really quick, maybe in a parking lot or something that we're not going to get anybody's way, and do a quick little op here and there. And I think it'll work for us. Like I said, we ran it last night. Run it again tonight. We'll put it away because I think it's going to work. We want to stretch our legs and just kind of get a feel for what we could do, what we couldn't do with the setup. But so far, we've been pretty happy with it, Dennis. There, Roger.
Hey, great. I want to bring to senior moment. Throw your first name over here again.
Yeah, the name here, Randy. We're just outside of Kansas City. I mean, all these contacts we've had, oh my gosh, Dennis, you make me feel bad.
Oh, wait till you get my age. Things, you know, it's like things will slip your mind and all of a sudden, oh yeah.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, but here's the good thing: all of our contacts have been this year, from May 14th till the November, or from June the 17th. So no problem. I did remember the last part of the call. You know, I have a hard time with full call signs. There's a few I remember, most I don't. But the VTL, when I start hearing, I go, yeah, that's really familiar. And then, of course, when I hit the logger, I go, oh yeah, that's Dennis. So yeah, don't feel bad. My memory's kind of hit and miss as well.
Yeah, I've got to get another laptop down here and get a logging program going. Writing everything down and keeping it on paper. I've got pages sitting here of a notepad and all dates, times, and all that garbage. But boy, I tell you what, Randy, it gets to be a mess when you're trying to flip back through and find a call sign.
Yeah, believe it or not, my first 3 years was a paper log, because that's how my Elmer taught me, and I like to think I had a very good one. And then I think that's just about when HRD came out, and they had a few free versions at the time with limited resources. But yeah, you could log it. So then I spent another couple, 3 or 4 months just transcribing it over to the electronic log, and I've been able to pass it on. I'm using a different program now. You'll love it. It's called Log for Old Men. Log for Old Men. That's what I'm using now. Another free program, and so I can able to transfer that stuff over so it keeps track. And you know, I've had some contacts that I logged that were back in 2012, so I know it's keeping track. And you know, it's pretty darn quick. If I can get the call sign typed in correctly and hit the start, it usually pops it up before I have a chance to say over.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, that last go around there you went up to you went from as low as S5 to almost 10 over 9 there for a little bit. So with any antenna, you're at the mercy of propagation, but it's doing quite well.
Well, when I was 10 over, because I was straightening my leg out, and I think that little extra counterpoise helped us a little bit.
Yeah. I know when I go portable, it's going to be rough. Won't have the amplifier, and probably if I don't sell it, I'll take the ICOM 7000 with me. And it takes up a lot less space. And not to mention I can use it 2 meter, 440, even all modes up there, and as well as HF.
Well, see, that's one thing that we have the ability to do. We do have a Ten-Tech Hercules 2 solid-state amp, which will run off of 12 volt. It'll do 500 watts all day long. You know, that might be enough to push us over the edge. We used it over Memorial Day weekend. We used 2 deep cycle marine batteries in series, and ran 4 days, a couple hours each day, and it just walked it just fine. Of course, the batteries were pretty tired at the end of those 4 days, but it worked out pretty well. So we're debating whether or not we're going to take this with us in the on the western state swing. We might have it back there in the quiver just in case. Awful hard to have any fun if you call CQ for half an hour and no contact. So we may bring it along just as put something in our back pocket there, Roger.
Yeah, there you go. That would always be nice. I've toyed with the thought of getting another 12 volt amp when I get the station finished out here. Looking at an auto tuner right now. Ecom makes one for the both made for the solid state amp, so it'll cover 160 through 6 meters, and this antenna performs. Actually, I was amazed. It goes from 1.5 to 1 to flat on 6 meters without a tuner. So the rest of the bands, you've got your good spots, and then you need a tuner. But right now, running out of the 4-to-1 and then into coax to the rest to get it in the house. It's working out good. I've not had any complaints yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect you would be because, again, you sound really good in my receive. So, but again, like I've said before, don't take my word for it. I know you mentioned before trying to get a computer down in the shack, so I hope you've got one some other place where you've at least had a chance to watch us watch our QSO on the YouTube channel. At least, if not, boy, you should check that out. Like for this evening, your audio is just what's the best word I can say, Dennis? Your audio currently is impeccable. How's that for a word?
Yeah, that's been this is an MC30 ICOM desk mic, and really makes up good with the 7300. I can't wait till when the 7610 gets in, then I'll decide on the mic. But it'll probably be another MC30 with the performance I get off this one and the audio comments I get.
Yeah, I wouldn't change a thing personally. Sounds very good in my receive. Of course, again, speakers on radios, external speakers, headphones, headsets, everything's going to sound a little bit different. We picked up this headset yesterday from our local store, Heil. I think it's called a Pro Elite headset or Pro Headset Elite or something like that. And we're still trying to get used to it. We did a little of adjustment from what we did last night. I don't think it sounded that good last night on the playback, so we made some adjustments and had a few comments earlier. I think we've kind of got it to where it needs to be, so it's matching the radio pretty good. So we're going to leave it the way it is. But Dennis, sounds good in my receive. Thanks for giving us a call. We've got a little bit more time to make a few more contacts, so we'll just kind of mosey on down. But again, this time next Friday, we'll be out in Colorado, and that's where we're going to start doing our little portable ops. If you hear us out there, give us a call back. Again, you could be the only contact I have. You just never know. But for tonight anyway, you sound very good in my receive. Thank you again for taking the time to stop in and say hi. I always appreciate it when I get a chance to talk with some regulars. I think this is either 5 or 6 contacts with us, so please keep it coming. I certainly enjoy our chats as well. So I'll say 7-3 for now. Enjoy the rest of your evening, my friend, and have a great weekend. Kilo Alpha 9, Victor Tango Lima, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you, Dennis. You take care. 7-3s.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like I had a bunch move in on us there. I heard you threw all the garbage, though, so I'll listen out for you, and you guys are out on the road there. We might be able to make contact. You never know. K0 RWE 73, and have a great weekend from KA9VTL.
Yeah, pleasure's all mine, Dennis. You take care. We'll say 7-3s. This is Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo QRZ. Any other stations, come out with your call, please. I was just wondering if you were just going to say hi in the chat or if we're going to get a chance to talk. Well, thank you for giving us a call this evening. Sounds pretty good in my receive. What's happening up in Michigan?
Not much. I just wanted to add that, Dennis, your audio quality sounds excellent up here in Michigan, and you were fluctuating between 10 and 40 over that whole QSO. Everything sounds great. If I were you, I wouldn't change a thing. It sounds fantastic. It's nice to talk to you, Randy. I've been trying to get on QSO with you for I don't know, a week or so now, Randy. I just haven't been able to break the pile up, over.
Well, it's probably more on my end than anything else, ML. So, but appreciate your patience and persistence. I never was a really good pilot operator. I try, if I can get a full call, great. I get a couple of partials, and and try to pull them the best I can. You're not the first one to say that, but hey, the back door. The back door is right there on the live chat. So usually when I see that, I try to make a few, take a minute or two and try to call them back. We tried that earlier with Brad out in Central PA, but the band wasn't quite in there just yet. So hopefully we'll have a chance to work him again later. But no, I'm glad that we got a shot again. I'm hoping it's worth it. Trying to call. You just never know what the band's going to do or what it's going to be like. But the last 5 or 6 weeks we haven't been much on the air anyway. We've had technology issues. The tower went down. We had a radio that went down, that went into service and so forth. But I'd like to think that's all behind us, and we've got clear sailing ahead there. Go ahead.
Modem went down, and a few other odds and ends. And today I was looking at the grounding coming from the pole to the house, and I noticed that I have to replace it all now because I could see that it was heated up, and the ground wire is actually on a galvanized piece of lumber, and you can see where it got hot along the wood. So I have to take out all of tomorrow's project is taking out all the old ground wire and putting new ground wire in. It all needs to be replaced because it's been compromised from a lightning strike that happened about 7 days ago now. So it's just another big project over here, over.
Oh, well, that shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes, I would think, right?
Oh, no, I have a long run from my tower to the pole and to the house. I'm going to have about 160 feet of ground wire. And then as far as ground posts, just because I'm taking the old stuff out, I'm going to add about 15 to 20 more ground posts along the way, about every 8 to 10 feet or so over.
Yeah, it sounds like you got your work cut out for you. Hopefully you'll get some nice cool temperatures to do that. It doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun, but I have a feeling with the correction you'll probably get a little bit better, more safety and probably more performance with it as well. But you wouldn't want to do that kind of work around here this weekend. We're going to be just right at triple digits in humidity, so hopefully you've got some decent weather to do it. But I guess if it's urgent enough, you got to do it regardless there, Roger.
Yeah, it has to be done because that ground wire being compromised, I wouldn't want to have another strike because that's how a fire would start. So I got to get that taken care of. Fortunate for me being up here in northern Michigan, it's about 80 degrees right now, and the biggest issue is just going to be being able to get the other ground rods and get them in. We have lightning that's supposed to be coming through later on tonight into the morning, but Sunday is supposed to be clear skies here, so it's going to be postponed until Sunday, over.
Yeah, hopefully the weather will cooperate for you a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it'd be a whole lot of fun, trying to get all that pulled out and then having another set put back in. But hopefully it'll work for you, and we'll take some of those temps. We don't see the 80s until 9 or 10 o'clock here lately, so we're definitely in the summertime, no doubt. And then we've got, like I said, we're not looking forward to doing the drive across Kansas during the day. It's going to be really hot out there, so that'll be interesting as well. But you can't do anything about it. You just kind of work through it, work around it. You know what they say there, Roger?
Yeah, Roger. I do HVAC for a living, so the house here, the QTH, is nice at 72 degrees all the time. That's the only way I'd have it, over.
I think that's great. Good for you. That's terrific. Well, we can make it. We can make our 72. I just don't want to pay the electric bill. No, I certainly understand that. It does help for us around here when you hit bedtime. If it's a little bit on the cool side, we seem to fall asleep a little faster. And we kind of add a couple of quarters to the machine, you might say, to get down to that there, Roger.
Yeah, one thing I love about when you're in northern Michigan in the summertime. It doesn't get too unbearable over.
Yeah, that is the great thing about your location. You know, I know you get warm, but you don't. If it does, it doesn't seem to be for very long. And we're not quite that way here. But you know, they always say home is where you hang your hat. So that's just where we happen to be, and we got to deal with it. But we try to escape to either warmer or cooler temps, you know, whenever we can, and we're going to have a chance to do that next week. So when it's really, really warm here, we're hoping when we get to altitude out in Colorado to start, we'll have temperatures. At least we won't have the humidity. That's the biggest key. We won't have the humidity, so hopefully that'll help us. But hey, listen, I'm glad you got a chance to get in there, and again, I appreciate your persistence and patience. We're not trying to exclude anybody. We're just trying to pull calls the best we can, and sometimes the band closes before we have a chance to go back around to grab those stations. So I always try to work them the best I can, but I do appreciate you being out there. And you're getting to be a regular too. As soon as in my book we get four QSOs, you know, within a certain time frame, I call them a regular, and I think we're on number 4 right now, so we'll just have to keep you down as a regular. But always fun to hear you out there. And again, you know the back door. If I see it on the chat, I always try to reach it there, Roger.
Roger that, Randy. It's a pleasure talking to you, and I really appreciate what you're doing. It's really nice to be able to make changes to the station and be able to go back and listen and check it out. Between you and Alex, you've definitely made some small changes to the station that have definitely helped me out. It's definitely an asset to amateur radio, and I really appreciate it. And I'll say 7-3s to you and let you tie a ribbon on it and get in there and talk to some other people, because I'm sure there's quite a few people that want to talk to you, Randy. Thank you very much, 7-3.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, Alex, he kind of set the bar for all this. Alex has set the bar, so we're just trying to live up to that and be a good steward of amateur radio and a good steward of the station. And we're having a lot of fun with this. I hope others are as well. And as long as that continues to happen, we're going to keep doing this. So always a pleasure out there. And thank you again. Always enjoy our chats. You know, I really do. There's a lot of people I have fun talking with. You're one of them. So I'm hoping that if I told some others earlier tonight, if you hear us out there in the western state doing the portable, give us a shout, because you may be the only contact I have. We just don't know. But anyway, always fun, always a pleasure. I'm glad we got a chance to talk tonight. Enjoy the rest of your Friday and a great weekend coming up. We do plan to be back out here Monday and Tuesday before we pack up and move, so we'll see what happens then. So anyway, 7-3s for now. Kilo Delta 8, India, Juliet, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, 7-3s. Okay, great. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, QRZ. Any other stations, come on out with your call, please. Well, I'd run the list dry. I hope not. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, K0, RWB, Randy in Kansas City. Calling CQ and QRZ. Any other stations, come on out with your call. Well, I hope the well hasn't run dry. We'll keep calling CQ and see what happens. CQ here on 40 meters. CQ here on 40 meters. CQ, 40 meters, CQ. It's Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, K0, RWB, calling CQ. CQ, any stations anywhere? Come with your call, please.
Yeah, here's W9RZR.
Now, where have I heard that before? Whiskey 9 Radio Zulu Radio. That sounds like Bob. Hey, how are you doing tonight, Bob?
Yeah, we're doing all right. Good to hear you out there calling CQ. Go ahead.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, it's almost like a cry for help there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Up the band a bit, though. I worked a fellow in New Hampshire that was calling CQ. And, yeah, great to hear it there. Go ahead.
Well, that just tells me that you're a lifesaver. You saved a guy in New Hampshire. You're helping me out here in Kansas City. I think, didn't we just, I think we just talked the other night there, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm sure of that. And I'm trying to remember the name. It just will bring a while to figure it out. But Yeah, I know we walked out there by Kansas City. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm cheating a little bit, Bob, because I just pull the calls up on the logger and it gives it to me. So I'm cheating a little bit. But yeah, the name here is Randy again, just on the east side of Kansas City here on the Missouri side. People always keep, I don't know why people keep saying Kansas, but no, we're on the right side. We're on the Missouri side. And the log said the 20th, so that would have been, what, Wednesday night probably, somewhere around there?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I try to get on further here every evening and make a few contacts before I call it. Go ahead.
Yeah, again, you know, you just never know. You know, every time I get out here on 40 meters, it could be, well, I tell you what, it hasn't really been a famine. There's always a couple of stations, but man, I tell you what, there are some nights when it's just wall to wall for 2 hours. And I kind of feel bad. Again, I've told many, and I've said this many times, I'm not the greatest person when it comes to a pileup, so I try to grab them the best I can. And, well, when you got them back-to-back like that, you feel real bad that you're not able to get to everybody with the time you got. But, you know, sometimes they'll come around the next night, and it's all good there, Roger.
Oh, yeah. I know I was on 10 meters last night, I guess it was. On the gray line. And they were just crawling all over trying to get to me. And, you know, it's tough. You got about 6 or 7 of them coming back. You don't know who to pick up. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, I've run that too. And what I've tried to do is grab as much of the call as I can and kind of go that route. I know when I was doing the National Parks program back in 2016 and you're activating the park, I mean, there's 100 deep. And you know, you get to the point where you start with call areas, you know, 0 through 9, or sometimes it was the last 2 of the call sign and that kind of stuff. But that's not something I wanted to do here. I don't want to do 5-9 QRZ. We can't do 10 and 15 minute QSOs. We want to kind of, you know, I want to be very respectful of everybody's time, and I think people appreciate that. Again, we try to grab them we can, you know, while we can, those kind of things. And I'd like to know what people's on their mind. A lot of people share some really great information. That's one thing I like about here on 40 meters. Great operators, usually great signals, wonderful audios to go along with it, and sometimes some great stories as well. That's why I'm really a big fan of 40 meters there. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Randy. Well, maybe I have a little tip for you. I don't know. I may have told you this the other time. But this old icon I'm using here, it got down to where it was only running about 60 watts. Audio was fine, and the receiving was fine. And I talked to a cat down there, Atlanta, Georgia, and he says, well, I'll give you a little free advice. Take your fuses out of your power line, clean them up with a rag or something, clean the ends in the holder, stick them back together, and you'll have your 100 watts back. I thought, God, what kind of tech is this? I did it, sure as hell. 100 watts, they're right on the button again. Go ahead.
Ain't that something? That is awesome. Yeah, very cool. I would have never thought of that. You know, these power cords have inline fuses on them, and I would have never have thought that. That makes a lot of sense if you think about it, and that's a really cheap, inexpensive fix. I'll take that any day there. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, because he told me, and this guy is really a good tech, and he told me over 70% of the rigs he get in with low power, it was all in the feed line and not really.
Well, that makes it a really easy job for him. I'm sure they probably charge the same. Well, my Yaesu that I bought in February, we sent to Yaesu in California the end of May. It stopped putting out transmit power. Ended up being the PA. And when I made that first phone call, I was kind of the same way. I said, well, I don't want to sound really dumb here, but I checked this, and this, and they said, well, let's try A, B, and C while I've got you on the phone. And we did all that and some resets and things I've never heard about that he told me to do and so forth. And I wish it would have been that simple, Bob, but it wasn't. It was a bad PA. And it took us about 5 weeks to get the radio back. We've had it now back for I think about 10 days or maybe 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks ago today actually. So we're glad we've got that back in the shack. We're on our secondary radio here tonight. This is our portable gear that we're taking with us out west starting next week. This is the ICOM 7300. So we're running that in the Heil headset. So not quite the same, but it all works for us as well there, Roger.
Oh, yeah, working good, Randy, no problem. And you know, I told a fella up in, where was he at, Pennsylvania, out east there, on St. Mayor. And he was running a Yaesu, I believe. He said the wattage went down to 50 watts. And I got a card from him in the mail the other day. To run 100 watts now, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's great. You know, and that's so. I'm glad you mentioned that, and I'm glad you shared that because that would be probably one of the first things that I would think most of us would overlook, or wouldn't have thought of, would be to check the fuses, clean the contacts. I wouldn't have thought they would have that much of an effect. But I mean, again, you know, you're a prime example. You got somebody who's basically kind of looking out for you, and suggested you try that. Instead of said, "Oh, send the radio to us and we'll take care of it." I mean, that was really nice of them to do that. So that just tells you there are some really great people out there still, Roger.
Oh yeah. By the way, I did spin this rig down there too. They're near Atlanta. The backlighting on the screen had been out for I don't know how many years, and I thought it needed a good lining, tuning up and cleaning and all. So I boxed it up and sent it down to him. And he asked me, he says, "Now, do you have a spare?" I said, "No." He said, I'll try to get it back as soon as I can. 7 days later, I had my radio back. I quit.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Well, I will say this about my Elmer. I always kind of pump up my Elmer whenever I can. I think I had one of the best ones, and I've said this many times in the last several months. He told me amateur radio 2 is 1 and 1 is none, so it's always nice to have a backup if it's feasible financially or economically there, Roger.
Oh yeah, well I sold my backup a number of years ago. I replaced my old Kenwood TS520 with this rig. It sat there on the desk for a long time, and another fella, he was just getting into it, and he wanted it offered me a good price. So I let it go. Well, by the way, when Paul worked on this radio, actually the shipping charges was more than one repair. Go ahead.
Yeah, doesn't that never ceases to amaze me. I'm not surprised. I don't know if I said the right words or had the right technician or what, but he sent me a shipping label, and didn't cost me a thing. Took it up to FedEx and put that on the box, and they scanned it and said, "Here's your receipt and have a nice day." So it didn't cost me to ship it out, and they didn't charge me to ship it back. It's under warranty, you got to understand as well. I didn't realize, but that Yaesu has a 3-year warranty. I was not aware of that, so maybe that was part of it as well. Again, if it would have cost to ship it out there, I would have done it, because otherwise the radio is useless. I wanted to get it repaired regardless, but I thought that was really nice of them to do that. I don't know if they do that, on every occasion or just what. But I did call him back once I got the radio and told him I received it in good working order. I was very appreciative of their time and the time that because we had talked several times on the phone for him to take time to call and me to call him and to take the time to talk with me. So I did make sure that I didn't want a good deed to go undone, so I wanted to make sure I appreciated his efforts. And I think, that goes a long way with a lot of people there, Roger.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I say, this tech down up by Atlanta, he treated me fine, I'll tell you that. And if I ever need another tech, I'd definitely ship it down to him. And I know it's going to be done right. So, okay, Randy, QSB was getting in there a bit on that one. So we get on there a bit. So maybe I'll let you go and see if you can find a few more on the band tonight. Over.
Yeah, no problem at all. I've got a few more minutes before we'll have to shut it down. We've got a couple other things we've got to get squared away this evening, but we did have some time tonight, so we've got a few more minutes for maybe a couple more calls, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, hey, here you go, Bob. Twice in 1 week. That's a start of good things, or as far as I'm concerned. Again, sounds very good in my receive. So you're the well, we're just going to start calling you the CQ Whisperer. People call in CQ, and you come to their rescue and answer the CQ. So you're going to be my CQ Whisperer moving forward there. So I do appreciate it. I enjoyed talking with you the other night, and I've enjoyed it more tonight. Again, thank you for sharing that information about cleaning the fuses. I'm hoping other people out there hear that and maybe get a chance to check theirs as well. So, Bob, as always, thank you so much. Enjoy your evening and have a great weekend. And we'll be back out Monday and Tuesday for sure. And then we'll be on the Western State Swing for that following week. So if I told others earlier, if you hear us, give us a call back, you CQ Whisperer, because you might be the only contact I have. We just don't know. But anyway, I've enjoyed it very much, and I certainly look forward to the next time. Whiskey 9, Radio Zulu Radio, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, sir. You have a good night.
Yeah, 73, and have a good evening, Randy, and we'll be listening for you. W9 or the Arc clear and by.
All right, take care. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, QRZ. Are there any other stations? Come out with your call, please.
4 November Whiskey Victor.
I got right in the middle of it. I got your suffix. Give me the whole call again, if you would.
Whiskey Bravo 4 and November Whiskey Victor.
Okay, got that time. My apologies. November Bravo 4, November Whiskey Victor. Roger?
Well, close. It's Whiskey Bravo 4 and November Whiskey Victor.
Yeah, you know what? I said it wrong, but I typed it right, if that means anything. I should have known better. We've had a couple of contacts already this year. This is number 3, Frank. Hey, good evening. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I just heard you in there and recognized your voice. I figured I'd just say hello.
Well, I think it's great. So far, you're the best signal tonight. You've been solid 20 over the last 2 go-rounds, so maybe there's something going on the Panhandle.
No, I just got a nice tall antenna, and it's cut to this frequency, and now 500 watts, so that's probably why most of the people on the bands today don't seem to be running much power, 100 watts, and the bands are really bad, so they're really kind of weak and down in the noise. But if they got any power and they got a decent antenna, you should be able to hear them pretty good.
Yeah, I think you're right, because we're running our portable gear tonight. We ran it last night and ran it tonight. We're making a Western State Swing next week through Colorado, Wyoming, and South Dakota. We'll be doing some portable ops. So we got the portable equipment out, so we've got to get used to what our signal is, what our receive is like. So I will say this, the first contact just about an hour ago was just outside of Orlando. So I felt pretty good about that. Of course, you know, the band does everything, but yeah, you have been by far the strongest signal so far this evening.
Well, you're 10 over S9 here in Pensacola, Florida, so you're not doing so bad yourself.
Well, I'll just say it's the band. Again, this little MP1, it's from the tip of the antenna to the ground, it's almost 10 foot, so there ain't much out there. We got 4 ground radials cut for 40, but it's just nothing but stereo speaker wire. But, you know, again, it works. It's resonant. It's 1.2 SW match. We put our analyzer on it before we started operating last night, and we checked again today. So I'll take a little credit with the antenna, but I think propagation is probably the majority of it there, Roger.
Yeah, how much power are you running?
Right at 100 watts.
Well, if you got a good antenna, you got 100 watts, and the bands can cooperate a little bit, it's doable.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. You know, it's a compromise, of course, this little loaded coil, whatever. And I'm hoping that, you know, the Western State Swing, I'm hoping a little bit of altitude will help us as well. Maybe I can get on a east side of a granite-faced rock and put the antenna up and have it bounce off of that. Maybe that'll help shoot it back this direction or something. I'm not sure which, but it's still going to be fun. You know, portable's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun as well. And And I think we've got the time to do it while we're out there. We're going to take a little time and maybe have some fun with it and just see what we can pick up.
Well, it's always nice when your hobby is enjoyable and makes you happy, because there's enough misery in the world today, so it's always nice when you have something that makes you happy and you can feel like you did something fun.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, I had this conversation earlier this afternoon. You know, I can't honestly say I've run across an operator that has been grumpy or you know hasn't been fairly pleasant on the air. I don't know if it's just because of what we do on amateur radio or what the mindset it takes to get on the air, but I can't honestly say I've actually run across a grumpy person on the air.
Well, that's because you haven't talked about the right stuff. If you get on there and try and talk to people about religion, you'll find some grumpy people. If you try and talk to them about politics, you'll find some grumpy people. But, you know, if you keep it in the middle of the road, everybody pretty much is congenial and just wants to get along.
Well, that's very true. I never really thought of it that way, but I do think personally there are probably some topics that maybe shouldn't be covered here on amateur radio. I think a lot of that's personal choice. Again, when I'm doing this in the evenings and doing the live stream, yeah, I don't think going to one side or the other side per se would be really productive per se. Again, I do this because we enjoy it. We like making contacts. I like doing the live stream. I think people get a kick out of it as well, hearing themselves. The nice thing, they're great operators here on 40 meters. People are able to share information. Got that earlier from Bob. Go figure about changing or cleaning your contacts on your fuses to get your wattage back up. Would have never thought about that. So that's kind of the stuff that I like to do. And you know, I think you and I've probably talked about some of this stuff before, but you know, we don't like to do 5/9 QRZ here, and we don't do 15 or 20 minute Q. So we try to find the middle ground, and I think everybody understands that and is happy with it. And it's just the whole idea of having some fun in the process, sir, Roger.
Yeah, and it helps you meet new people, and a lot more of them. Because if you just homestead and talk to one guy for an hour at a time, you know, or 2 hours at a time, you don't get that many contacts in. So, but I'm like you, I don't like to just get the call sign, give the signal report, and then move on. You know, that's just not enough for me. But anyway, I'm going to say 73s, and I'm going to mosey on up frequency and see what I can hear. So I enjoyed it, and you have a great evening, and God bless. Kilo 0 Romeo Whiskey Bravo. Whiskey Bravo 4 November Whiskey Victor. Over to you for your final.
Yeah, Frank, that sounds great. You're almost 25 over that time. Yeah, I looked into the waterfall. Looks like there's some stuff up above us. That's kind of why we came down here to find a spot. So, yeah, always a pleasure. Yeah, I do apologize on the call. Like I said, I typed it right but said it wrong. There's a disconnect if you haven't noticed. Maybe that's just the age. It's hard telling. Oh, great. Hey, thanks again. Appreciate taking the time to stop in and say hi. I hope you will again. And I've said it just about every time now this evening. If you hear us out there next week, you might be the only contact I have. So make sure you call back. We'll take the call, no problem. So, hey, Frank, thank you. I do appreciate it. And have a great Friday evening and a wonderful weekend. Whiskey Bravo 4, November Whiskey Victor, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, Frank. 7-3.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you got a good antenna and you're putting out 100 watts, you'll get plenty of fish to bite on your hook. Anyway, God bless and 73s, and I will speak to you again, I'm sure, sometime. WB4NWV.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you again, Frank. Take care. This is Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo QRZ. Time for one more call. Anybody else? Come with your call sign, please. I can hear you in the distance. I think it said ending in X-ray Delta. We'll try it again. Maybe the conditions, or turn your volume up. Who knows? Try it again for me.
All right, this is Kilo Delta 2, Sierra X-ray Delta. Kilo Delta 2, Sierra X-ray Delta. Roger, roger.
Yeah, I got you that time, Mike. No problem at all. Just north of Jacksonville. Hey, thanks for giving us a call. You came out really good that time. You must have turned your volume up. Or do like I do. If it's not working good, I hold my right leg out to the side. It helps me as a counterpoise there, Roger.
Roger. Well, you're doing it. Sounded good, Randy. the MP1 has been interested. I'm just wondering, how do you have it mounted? Do you have it on a gutter mount or a tripod mount?
Yeah, Mike, I've got it on a 3-foot tripod. It's kind of the same setup we've used before. It's one of those old halogen light stands that you can collapse in 2 different sections and then fold it up. And it's about 3 foot tall. So when we put the plate on it for the antenna and then screw the antenna extensions on it and the stinger, it's just about 10 foot from the tip to the ground. And I think that's part of it, but I really think the biggest part is those ground radios. It seems to make a difference for us. So we're not really sure if we're supposed to be out going /portable tonight. This is the portable equipment. It's downstairs in our secondary shack, but it will be the same equipment we take with us on the Western State Sling there, Roger.
Roger, fine business there, Randy. All right, well, it's actually doing good. I've been looking at those as well, between that and the Wolf River coils. So I was trying to make a decision, and you kind of swaying me a little bit more closer to that way. But unfortunately, they're out of stock in their packages, so I just sent them an email to see if they had any update on when they were going to get some more stock in, and we'll see how that turns out. Maybe I'll hear something back early next week. All right, Randy, well, I'm not going to hold you much longer. How's my signal to you tonight there, over?
No, that's great. Well, I tell you what, there's a couple of really good portables antennas. That Chameleon makes a really good antenna that breaks down real well. I like this one because at the time I was using it primarily, it comes in its own carry bag and it breaks down to right at 12 inches, and I can just throw it in the back of my backpack and keep on going. And it comes with a seat clamp, so you could clamp it onto a small tree limb, a picnic table, a barbecue grill, whatever surface you wanted to, and that really appealed to me. I can set it up in a couple of minutes and be on the air transmitting. And Mike, I did a video of it on the setup and performance a couple of months ago. If you go into in my channel, it might have been maybe April time frame. I did about an 8 or 9 minute video, and I get a chance to watch it. And there's a couple little tricks that I've done to make it work a little bit better. That might help you make your decision. Again, you tell me. You're down in Jacksonville, and we're having a QSO on an antenna that's less than 10 feet tall. I think it's doing pretty good there, Roger.
Roger. All right, fine business. I'll go back on your channel and search for that video and take a look at that. I probably watched it already. I just can't remember if offhand. But I'll look at it again. And I like it, especially comes with that nice little ruler to help you get in the band quickly and, and fine-tune it from there. Do you have the 80-meter version or just the 40 through 10 version?
No, I didn't get that 80-meter coil. Matter of fact, I bought this used off of eBay, so I don't have that little cheat chart for the coil, which is not a big deal because I have an antenna analyzer I take with me. But what I've also done is on the coils, I've taken a Sharpie and go, well, here's where 17 is roughly, here's where 20 is, here's where 40 is. And that gets me really, really close. And the radios I'm using have a tuner, but I'll put the analyzer on it really quick. And like right now, I'm 1.2 SWRs. It's not going to get much better than that. I've heard some mixed results on the antenna with that 80-meter coil that's added on. It basically screws on to the bottom there, so I really can't say anything, but this will work 6 through 40, and it's more than enough range that I need. It works phenomenally on 20 meters. It really works well. It's okay on 17. I haven't done much on any other bands. It does great here on 40, but boy, on 20 meters it'll just sing.
Roger. We're fine business there, Randy. Okay, well, because I was wondering about the 80-meter coil add-on myself. I just basically needed it for Aries over here in Florida, for where they're going to be Aries here. So, I'd rather have it if I need it than need it if I have it. And I love that carry bag as well, and it's a nice, small, compact package that I can keep it in the trunk of my vehicle and go do some motor activations as well. But, all right, well, I think we'll go see if they email me back and let me look back on the logbook. I'm glad to hear it going well. I just sent your stream. I try to catch a fly, but I get some replays here and there. And keep up the good work. And I'll pass it back to you to put a ribbon on it. K0WB, this is KDC. Direction Delta, Jacksonville, Florida, phase 73, my friend. Till we meet again, Roger.
Okay, Mike. Hey, thanks from Jacksonville. I appreciate it. Always nice to talk with you. Yeah, it was March, so nice we got a chance to get another QSO tonight. If I can help at all, you know, I'm good in QRZ. Send me an email. You know, I'll try to help you out the best I can. Be safe, be well. Enjoy your Friday evening, man. Thank you again. That's Kilo Delta 2, Sierra X-Ray Delta, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy, Kansas City. We're going to say 7-3s, and we're going to call it a night here. We do appreciate everybody that checked in with us. Hopefully, we'll have a chance to do it again on Monday. K0RWB, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Be clear in QRT.
They've been listening to me.